Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd, very, very big.
President Trump couldn't have said it any better. Charlie Kirk was a giant among his generation. He influenced millions of young people. He brought millions of people together for one cause, and that cause was peace. Charlie Kirk was not only a very religious man, but he was a true American patriot, and one that will be sadly missed. But this tragic incident yesterday, it wasn't just a loss of a prominent voice. It was the silencing of a man who stood on stages across America challenging the status quo. He inspired young people and he sparked debate, and that's all he wanted to do. That's all he was about. He wanted to ask questions, and he wanted to answer questions, or he would ask and the students would answer. And most of the time, they didn't see eye to eye. But you never once saw Charlie Kirk raise his voice or get angry, because that's not the type of man he was. So yesterday, as the chaos erupted and the shot was fired and the panic spread and the people scattered, what's next? Charlie was rushed to the hospital, where he unfortunately succumbed to his injury. And now the search goes on for the shooter. The FBI has said they are making substantial gains in this case. They have several clues, one including the bolt-action rifle that was used to end Charlie Kirk's life. It was found in woods near the campus. We all know by now, it's believed that the shooter perched himself on a roof on the campus grounds and took the life of an innocent man, took the life of a man who was just trying to change the world. This is the information that the FBI is releasing so far.
Starting at 11:52 a.m., this subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location. After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
Authorities went on to say they did find a high-powered bolt-action rifle believed to be the murder weapon near the neighborhood in a wooded area. But the shooter was not in the woods. They also say they've recovered a palm print, a forearm print, and most importantly, good video of the shooter, but say they will not be releasing any video at this time, just those new images.
They know today that the shooter arrived on campus at 11:52, made his way onto property, up onto a roof, into the position where he was going to fire his deadly shot. It's my opinion that this person had to know exactly where he was going. It's my opinion that he practiced getting on the campus and getting up there without anyone seeing him. This was not just a random spur-of-the-moment act. This person knew exactly what they were doing, where they were going to do it, and when they were going to pull the trigger. We saw a man, an older gentleman, last name is Zinn, Z-I-N-N. He was taken into custody right after the shot was fired. It's my belief that this man somehow, some way, knows who the shooter is, and he was playing as a decoy to give the shooter time to escape. He was on the ground screaming, "I have the right to remain silent. Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." But they let him go because he really had nothing to do with the shooting. Then why did he do that? Like I said, he was a decoy. He gave the shooter time to escape, and that's just my opinion. But after what you heard from the agent, they found a rifle. They have good video evidence that they are not going to release at this time. They have a palm print and a forearm print. I believe they have an empty shell casing on the roof, and I also believe they have some footprints on the roof. And that's limited. That's all they can go on right now, or that's all they're going to tell the public. The manhunt is intensifying every hour. There's law enforcement agencies throughout Utah helping investigate this heinous crime. They're urging anyone with information to come forward. And as of a couple of hours ago, they are offering a $100,000 reward for anybody who can bring this shooter to justice. But there's a bigger picture. Charlie's assassination has become more than just a tragic event. People are wondering, are we safe to go to outdoor gatherings now? Well, yes, you are, in my opinion, because this was a targeted assassination. If this person was there just to do a mass shooting, thank God it wasn't, but unfortunately, Charlie was killed. But if they were there to do a mass shooting, that's what would have happened. So I'll still go out in public, to public gatherings, to outdoor spaces. We can't be afraid of some lunatic who doesn't like what another person is saying, so we stay in our home and never leave. That's exactly what they want. They want to silence conservative voices. And I, for one, am not going to be silenced, and I'm always going to speak what I believe to be true. But this isn't a story about one man's death. It's a story of a nation reckoning with violence, division, and the pursuit of justice. It's just such a tragic event that you see it all. That's all we're seeing in the news. Believe it or not, CNN is talking about it. MSNBC is talking about it. But I believe it's only because they have to. Because they are also the ones who blame President Trump. I believe I said last night that Pritzker of Illinois, the governor, basically blamed President Trump, saying his rhetoric, that's absolutely ridiculous. And there's a man who was on MSNBC. His last name was Dowd. I don't know his first name. He lost his job for saying something so ridiculous that I'm happy he lost his job, and quite frankly, I hope he never works again. He blamed Charlie Kirk himself for his own demise. He said Charlie Kirk's hateful speech toward other groups was the reason that he was killed. Charlie Kirk never said a hateful word about anyone. We all know he was against the transgender issue, and he spoke openly about it. We all know he was against abortion, and he spoke openly about it. How is that considered hate speech? That's how the left thinks. Because we all know if you don't agree with those groups, then you're the bad person. And how many shootings have we seen with transgender shooters? The most recent one in Minnesota. It's a sickness. It's an illness. And they need to either be counseled into reality, because it's fact, 100% biological fact, that a man cannot become a woman and a woman cannot become a man. They can dress however they want. But the fact of the matter is, that's all it is. It's a costume. You want to identify as something? I can identify as this microphone if I want. But I'm not going to try to make you believe that I'm actually a microphone. Well, that's the problem with the transgender ideology. If you don't affirm whatever identity they say they are, then you're the bad person. Well, I, for one, am never going to affirm that a man is a woman or a woman is a man. It's just so out of whack that anybody who goes along with that is either lying to the people they're agreeing with or they're lying to themselves. And anyone who is celebrating, anyone who is cheering the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I was looking at several videos today of young people cheering the fact that Charlie Kirk lost his life. And of course, they blamed him for his hateful speech. He deserved it. He was all for guns. And look, a gun took his life. And they're clapping and celebrating. Anyone without empathy for a 31-year-old man with 2 young children and a wife, if you're cheering that and you're happy about it, you need to do some serious soul searching. And most of these people saying this that I saw today are young people. To me, they looked like late teens or early 20s. They don't even know where they're going yet in their own lives, but they're celebrating the killing of an innocent man. That's how sick some people on the left are. Our country is not about violence. It never was, and it never should be. Political violence of any kind is absolutely disgusting. Charlie Kirk, again, wanted open debate on the issues he believed in and the issues the students or whoever he was talking to believed in. And that's exactly what he did. And he traveled around the country to colleges everywhere. And I made a mistake last night. I said his show was called Change My Mind. I apologize. I was wrong. That show belongs to Steven Crowder. Charlie Kirk's show was Prove Me Wrong. He would want the students to prove him wrong about whatever ideals he was speaking about. And he stuck to his guns. He always spoke the truth. And again, he never, ever got angry. He had open debate. Your opinion, my opinion, we can agree to disagree. And that's how every politician should think. So to end this, I don't understand how 2 political parties with so much influence can't come together for one simple fact. Stop all the propaganda and the lies. Stop all the he said, she said, because the left celebrates a certain thing. One of the biggest ones is the transgender issue, and I know they don't agree with it. They pretend they do, but they don't. And the right is totally against it. And to me, they're telling the truth. So end the nonsense, get together, and fix the problems. Because killing innocent people for their opinion shouldn't have happened, and it should never happen, and it needs to stop. So as the search for Charlie's killer continues, I'm still going to bring you information when I get it. It just needs to stop. And again, if you're not religious, if you believe in a higher power, say a prayer for Charlie's family, because they certainly need it at this tragic time. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, hit that like button. Share the video with someone to let them see what's really going on in this world, in this country specifically. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any information. Hope everyone's healthy and safe, and we'll see you real soon.